right, holy shit, the wife is really awkwardly just standing there over his shoulder. And that is the creepiest moment I've ever seen in the trailer. So
she just wants some mirror time.
It have all gone, which
yep.
If all games do this from now on, that just opens up so many more options for creation.
I mean, the only other game that I can think of that had a better creation as this was Fight Night Champion, where you could scan your face into the computer. But,
so, I mean, we won't really know how extensive it is until we get our hands on it. But
you can just tell from the trailer that's
face, and that's
it. The way you want.
The question is, though,
next generation creation.
Are we going to be stuck with the typical Bethesda face, where it's the same style of face that we've seen in Oblivion, we've seen in Skyrim, we've seen in Fallout 3, we've seen in New Vegas? It's the same model. It never changes, no matter how much you play with the things.
I don't know, because I'm on the video now on YouTube, and if you just look at there's a massive variety between all the different faces you end up going through in the game.
And I did want to. No, go ahead.
No, they all do look visually quite different. The differences aren't minute. They're quite large. I will make Big Boss.
About it's like the square to the sides of the head, isn't it? They're all.
Well, I mean, they're all going to have difficulty emoting because they always do in these games. So they're all going to be quite stiff in the way they'll look, aren't they? They always are.
Yeah.
I did like how, I mean, and if you look at...
I mean, if you look, one of them actually makes Trevor. Trevor's actually one of the creations from GTA. I gotta literally go to like... Fucking, I think it's about 1 minute 13 seconds. 1 minute.
He's in there. Seconds. Yeah, and he's in there.
And then he makes Franklin after.
One of the things actually I picked up on that people sort of went, like we had the announcement trailer for Fallout 4 not that long ago, and after that people, everywhere I've seen anyone talking about Fallout 4, people were going mad, complaining that it didn't look next gen enough, the graphics were terrible, this is going to be terrible, you know those graphic knobs that just can't get their head around it.
It's completely beside the fucking point in the Fallout game.
And I wanted to add, here's the thing about that. Like, people are so wrapped up in getting a game to look, quote-unquote, next-gen in the way that the graphics are presented. But this is going to be a next-gen experience, but not just not just the way it looks.
I mean, what do they want? The Order? You know, they want everything to be the fucking Order 1866.
And that game was garbage.
I didn't like the Order 1886 myself.
It was terrible.
It looked good, but it played horribly.
Yeah, if you just go by the graphics alone, it's where do you stop with like the next gen? Do you know what I mean? Do you want it to be like real life? You like.
The thing is, my attitude has always been right. If you want real life, buy a fucking Blu-ray and watch a fucking film. It's a game. It should be the content of the gameplay and the experience comes before the visuals.
Yes,
that comes before the visuals.
The game. They're called video games. So
but it doesn't even look bad. It doesn't even look bad. The graphics are actually good. The lighting.
Well, see, that's the thing.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I think it looks really great.
Used a next gen. A next gen system. They've like rebuilt it on top of the old Fallout one. So what more do people want?
Yeah, I mean,
they wanted to make them pancakes.
The graphics portray like the game perfectly. I don't know.
Talking to the robot, like when the guy is talking to the robot, when your player is talking to that robot, it looked great. Like it looked like it was well captured and
yeah, the camera angles were spot on as well.
I mean, all the interactions, they're not like all scripted. You can enter and exit in at any time. Like it's not like the old Fallout where you have to choose a bunch of things. Like during mid-conversation, you can shoot someone in the face if you wanted to.
Yeah, I mean,
like and who among us didn't want to shoot the overseer?
Yeah, we all did.
Though I will miss the walls of text, because some of those options were quite
Mhm.
funny.
Yeah, they were always quite
Oh, yeah.
comical, wasn't they? I mean, out of curiosity, did anyone here not blow up Megaton?
I didn't.
I didn't when I played through it the second time.
So,
Yeah, I Fallout 3, I let Megaton survive my first playthrough. My second playthrough, I blew that to Kingdom Come.
I've never known anything so. I've never known anything so wrong feel so right.
Okay,
I've never blown it up.
I know we've sort of gone off the topic a little bit, but well, just sort of for anyone listening, I'm the only one that can see the gameplay that's going on at the minute. Playing New Vegas here, I've just got into the character creation screen, and so anyone that's watching this can see what the previous Fallout's character creation has been like, and if you've seen the creation for Fallout 4, how much more different it looks and how much more in depth it looks. I'm just going through a couple of the options here that are on
It was
screen.
terrible from what I remember. I remember it being awful.
Like while I've seen worse in games, it still feels very set in place. You could sit for hours and change it and not get anywhere.
yeah.
I mean, I didn't want to interrupt anybody, but like with Fallout 4, it seems so granular. Like you can get down to the granular little bits and really like shape a face, shape a person.
Yeah, I mean that's the idea. I get you can just kind of, I mean, it's just a creation kit. You just do whatever you want. I think you can choose how thick you want the facial hair to be. You can change the placement of said hairs if you want to. I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on that, to be honest.
I think like from Fallout 3, they put the creation, like the character creation, it did that as a afterthought rather than in Fallout 4 they made that the forefront.
Well, I think it's because in Fallout 4 there's a more cinematic feel with the different camera angles.
Yeah, and
that's
what they're using to create, NPCs themselves.
Oh yeah.
They're giving us the tools to actually help mod the game and make it, something more.
But
yeah,
I mean,
I think it's the same for the base building as well. I think that's the same tool they use to build houses and stuff. They've just given us the ability to build our own.
Sims Fallout.
Sims Fallout, man. It's just that alone. I mean, and the customization as well. Just the amount of customization options on the guns. The fact they've simplified it too. So it's like usually, I mean, I spoke to Luke earlier regarding this little, just about how a lot of games with crafting, it's not as seamless as it should be, and it's a lot of the times I don't even get involved in it because it's like tagged on, and it's the learning curve on there can be quite high. But I mean, this one it's ridiculous. You can literally find a plastic bottle, a toothpick, and some toothpaste, and build a rocket launcher or something. It's like it's ridiculous.
It's freaking ridiculous.
But
it's
actually, it actually looks like it ain't going to be complicated. Then it's simple and easy to do, whereas a lot of crafting systems do look very annoying.
And a lot of times the menus are really cumbersome, and it looks like this is really easy. So that's really cool. And look, if I can take turrets and just blow away like mutants coming at my gates, I'm gonna be happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder how far it goes, like, because he actually mentioned it was a settlement, and I'm just wondering how that expands in the game, and how
what does it mean
it's
going
by
to
that?
be in set locations.
Yeah, it'll be like adding on to say Megacon from the old one. You'll be able to build.
I wonder if you could like create your own settlement where you're like the leader of it, and shit like that, and you have to. That'd be so cool. Like, do you know how in Fallout you always come across?
It's already shown you that you could set up like.
Wait. So Fallout Mother Base?
Yeah. But you know how you always come across factions in Fallout, don't you? Like these groups and factions of people. It'd be good if you could create your own faction and be either good or evil or somewhere in
We are
between.
Diamond Dogs.
Yeah. That would so sick.
All games need base builders now.
Yep. And you know what's amazing about this the whole base building thing is I think what they're gonna do is the game is so large that they're gonna give you quick travel locations where you build your home, where you build your homestead. Like that's where you build, and like you travel between them and all that different stuff.
Yeah, that would be cool. Because you see, I mean, to be honest with you, I never really used fast travel all that much. I mean, in Skyrim, I very rarely fast traveled. I just walked everywhere just for the sake of roleplay.
It was more about the exploring than fast traveling for me on the previous ones.
Yeah.
I've nearly platinumed. Going a little off topic, I've nearly platinumed The Witcher because I don't use fast travel.
Really?
Fast travel can be a really hit and miss sort of thing. There was a game on the PS3. It was a really damn good game. I loved the hell out of that game. But the fast travel system in it was really... It was so sparse, and the map was huge. There was no form of mounts or anything. It was a game called Dragon's Dogma. There was no mounts. The map was huge, and there was one major city that was your hub that you had to travel back and forth between, and there was the only form of fast travel was these crystals, which were so expensive to buy and were almost impossible to find.
Yeah, and they only ever went one way. They only took you back to the main city.
Yeah, they could only take you back to there.
Anytime you're going to go on a mission, you always had to make sure you were ready to actually go out on a mission.
Like, because once you left those gates, that was you.
I think with Fallout, it's gonna be like it's gonna be accessible to do it if you want. I don't think it's gonna be like a load screen. I think you're gonna get into what do they call those warbird things? Vertibirds. I think you can get into a vertibird and fly from one point to the next and kill things along the way.
I mean, if that game has no loading screens going into cities to buildings, then that'll be really impressive.
Yeah, because the one thing that did my head in about the previous, and I'm guessing like it does everyone's head in, the loading screen, and then it'll crash on you.
Can I don't mean to butt in, there's just something is on screen here. Again, I'm the only one that can see what's happening in the gameplay for Fallout New Vegas here. But this is something that's always bothered me. Whenever in the character creation, when you're talking to Doc Mitchell, he brings up those pictures with the black blotches on them to tell him what you think they are. There's one of them, I will never change my mind. It looks like two bears high-fiving, and that is not an option in this, and it should be. Fallout 4, learn from this.
There's actually an Easter egg with that.
I will never unsee that.
So there's an Easter egg where the option actually is two bears high-fiving.
That bloody well should be.
I'm never gonna unsee that.
So, regarding the combat in this game, I love the fact that system doesn't stop time entirely.
Right.
It just slows it down. That's so much more seamless because it were a bit ridiculous in previous games. And it looks like it works really well as well. I mean, it slows it down enough.
I hope it's not on a regeneration system though.
Yeah, like how it used to be, the cooldown.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Well, I mean, I played Fallout 3 both ways. Like if I felt like shooting, I would.
I'll tell you what, they've really polished up the
VATS.
shooting as well because
I
found the shooting mechanics in Fallout 3 were really bad. I think it put a lot of people off. I think because they bought the game thinking they could play it like a shooter, and then obviously, you can't. But now, I mean, from the gameplay we saw at least at E3,
looks like you can.
It looks like you definitely can. And like I touched on earlier, I love how the game just doesn't. It even has a sort of a Dead Rising-esque feel regarding how it's not taking itself very seriously. I mean, we see the where he's in a dress and he's got like silly hats on and stuff, and it's just hacking people.
Well, I mean,
stuff like that.
I think that it's like this. They want to allow the gamer to choose how you want to interpret it. Do you want it to be a heavy experience,
dude,
or do you want to have fun?
I saw a guy get killed because his head blew off after being shot by a teddy bear. You know, the guy
that was awesome. I don't care what anyone says.
awesome.
I'm using that gun forever. Amen.
Yeah, if that doesn't sell Fallout to you, then nothing will sell Fallout
Okay,
to you.
okay.
That's just Fallout in a
I
nutshell.
need a teddy gun.
A teddy gun, mate.
I need a teddy gun in real life. Fuck that.
Teddy gun, mate. Teddy gun. What did they teach you in Vault 111? What did they teach me in Vault 111? Well,
Teddy
sunshine.
gun.
Teddy gun.
Teddies!
And that was
Okay, well,
fucking
one
epic.
thing that I want to
was-
bring up, and it's something that I think is going to be a very controversial topic on Fallout 4, is
Right.
the character is now voiced. Now, while it might not seem like a
Yes.
big thing for anyone that's just sort of joining Fallout 4 due to the hype, or this is their first Fallout game, that's not going to be a big thing. In fact, they probably prefer that because most games now are, the main character is voiced.
Right.
In
They've
all
kind of gone the
Fallouts,
Mass
in
Effect
fact,
route,
almost
haven't they, since?
in almost all Bethesda games, look at Oblivion, look at Morrowind, look at Skyrim, look at Fallout 3, New Vegas. It's always been a silent protagonist, and for, like I said, for people that are just joining, I think that the voiced character will be fine. In fact, they prefer that. But for someone like me who is used to that silent protagonist when they're playing that sort of like style of game, because Bethesda games like this have a very signature feel that you
See,
can't find anywhere
unfortunately, I
else.
think what's going to happen is Elder Scrolls 6 will be fully voiced as well, and I think this is just the direction they go in, to give the games more of a cinematic appeal, probably to appease to a larger audience. But
Right.
I know what you're saying. When it's text, you kind of have your own interpretation of the.
I didn't mean to interrupt you, buddy.
Well, you just did. How do you feel?
So continue. Sorry, continue.
No, it's done now. You must.
It's too late.
Must continue.
You have to make your point now, and it better be a damn good point.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So with the whole voice thing, I think it's a good step, but I think it's also a step that Fallout, past Fallout players like myself, I've played all the Fallout games from 1 on forward. For us, it's going to be hard to adjust. But for the new guys, it's going to be like, oh, this is Fallout. Let me see what went on back then.
I mean, for me personally, I prefer the cinematic feel. I like to have a voiced character. I think when you create, especially with the creation system being so much better and more advanced, you create a character who looks really cool. You're gonna connect and bond more with the character you've created. It's like in Mass Effect, everyone's Shepard was, unique to them. And I don't think I've ever felt as connected to a character as I did my Shepard in Mass Effect, and that wouldn't have been the case if Shepard had not been voiced. But I think it's a good direction. The cinematic angles seem to look fine. But on the same note, what Mark was touching on, I think when you've got lines of text, you have in your head your own interpretation of your character anyway. You don't have the game trying to force it on you what the character's personality is.
You like impart on it. You impart yourself on it.
But for me, with like Fallout and New Vegas and Skyrim, I didn't care how my character looked. But with Mass Effect, I actually have a voice, and the camera angles actually show your guy.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
So it's gonna actually make me care about my character. Because before there was just kind of a blank template, I just always kicked him out anyway.
The thing is, I will touch on as well is I've noticed this a lot with voice games. Is the protagonist's voice is always a white voice. It doesn't look like the voice could really suit a black person or a Chinese person, or it always seems to be quite a Caucasian origin voice. I mean, it's the same with Fallout 4.
They'll try to make it as neutral as possible, and I think.
Look at Mass Effect. You couldn't play Mass Effect as anyone else other than a Caucasian.
I know, but I feel like Fallout voice actors will be able to pull it off a lot better than.
I don't know why in this day and age they can't. I don't know why they can't have 2 voice actors, say, for
I think what you.
There might be more than one voice actor in this because of the character customization is in depth.
No, there's only 2 voice actors, one for male, one for female.
Yeah, you see, because there's so many lines, man. It's a lot of data and it's a lot of work. But I mean, I think the last game I can remember that did that was it Def Jam Luke for V for Vendetta.
Yeah.
Gunfight for New York.
Yeah, they had several voices, didn't they?
Yeah.
For the playthrough. But I think a game this big, I mean, God, can you imagine the
with
amount
so
of
many
dialogue in
voice
this?
lines. Yeah.
It'd be
That
difficult.
costs a lot of money.
I mean,
Maybe
you know,
yeah,
it's hard because you wanna like get as much diversity in the game as possible. Like I'm one of those people that I want to see as much as possible, as many people represented as I can. But for something like this, when the dialogue book is probably as long as War and Peace, okay, like it's a very long game, and I kind of forgive them on that part.
What do you think other activities there's going to be in this? I mean, other than obviously the side missions and the main quest, because we know in Vegas you had, well, obviously you had Vegas, but I really hope that, because it looks like there's some areas which are going to be really heavily populated, and then others which are quite barren. So it's going to be interesting to see what other kind of activities.
I think there'll be racing, because there's supposed to be the option of cars, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, Fallout cries out for cars. It cries out for
I feel like if they were going to be vehicles in the game, that's something they'd have shown during the.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is.
They did in the trailer. I mean, like they're showing like the old style cars when they were all running to the Fallout shelter and stuff like that. All on the driveways and stuff.
Yeah, but that's different.
It just me, but it really does cry out for like some Mad Max style vehicles.
Yeah, but the amount of work and effort that I'd have to go into that would be tremendous on its own.
See, even if there wasn't vehicles in the game by default, like we already know that but the consoles are going to support mods as well. In previous,
insane, by the way, just that is fucking insane.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see the depth to how far that goes, because obviously the console's technology is limited compared to what PCs are, but it's going to be interesting to see what mods carry over. I mean, that's potentially endless DLC, by the way. That's potentially endless quest lines.
And I might touch on the fact that I did before we started the chat. Somebody said that it's on both consoles. Is that like? I just hope it is. I don't want to be excluded from that.
It is. No, it is, man.
Yeah, Todd Howard was, Todd Howard said it's coming to Xbox One in early 2016, and they're trying to get it for the PS4.
Cool.
So whether it's something that Sony are allowing or not, I assume that's what's going to be the deciding factor.
I mean, I'll tell you what, dude, you've got to give Bethesda some credit. I mean, the game is coming out in November.
Right.
I know, but also about what mods will be carried over. Now, who's going to decide what mods get carried over to the console?
That's what I've been wondering. I have no idea.
It's like, is it up to the modders themselves, or for people to upload them onto?
It may be a case of where it's the most popular mods. I I don't know.
But I assume mods will
I
go
think they might have to pass
a
filter. They might have to pass a filter. Like, I imagine you'll make a mod, right, and then it'll take, like a YouTube video, it'll take some time to load up, and then if it doesn't pass, you then can't download it, or something like that.
Yeah, it needs to be something that goes to the mod goes to Bethesda, and then they touch on the mod, and they release it themselves.
The amount of work that would take would be insane. But they have Bethesda.net, where all the stuff from Doom's gonna go, and all the stuff from Fallout's gonna go. So whether the mods get put on there, and then we can download from there. So I assume the modders can upload them onto there.
That makes sense.
It's an exciting time when you consider consoles getting mods.
Yeah, I really like a developer that's really pushing for, mods and continue to pop, for the community, by the community.
See, Bethesda have always been really open to mods. Skyrim, Fallout, particularly Elder Scrolls games have always been huge on mods.
Such a huge modding community, which just, I mean, my Skyrim although my PC's not good enough to run it, looks absolutely incredible. I just can't play it, that's all.
Well, actually, speaking on PC, just to sort of clear up for anyone watching this, they're probably confused as hell right now. Well, for a start, I apologize if the footage is a bit jittery. My computer doesn't like having recording software running in the background as well. Second of all, on this topic of mods, I actually have a mod in this game that's active right now that has Dogmeat from Fallout 3 as an available companion in New Vegas. And that's the sort of thing that I really like about the modding community, but I just wanted to clear that up for anyone that was watching and was confused as hell as to why Dogmeat was in New Vegas.
There's a lot of potential just for, I mean, mods are brilliant, they really are fantastic.
Every game has dogs.
You've got to have a dog in the game, man. Dogs make the game better.
Dog of Duty.
Even Call of Duty has a dog.
Even COD has a fucking dog.
You know, I don't think Peter Molyneux quite knew what he was starting when he made that fucking dog.
Yeah, I mean, he started the trend. He started the trend, yeah. Fable 2. He started the trend. This dog will love you, blah blah blah. And fucking hell, since then there's dogs and everything.
You know something, that dog...
doesn't want a dog that loves them?
Just from my experience with Ghosts, it wasn't a bad game, but really was overhyped. It was just another NPC.
Yeah, and that's
right.
one nice thing that Bethesda didn't overhype the dog.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad.
No, but I mean, I tell the dog get me a spanner. I mean, that's all I need to say.
That's more useful than the dog and Ghosts.
With no training either, by the way. He just met the dog and went, hello,
Yeah,
dog,
he
got
literally
some
just
money?
walks
Oh,
up to
give
the
me a
thing and goes,
spanner.
"Hey, come with me. Oh, pick up that spanner for me. Oh, rip the throat out of that gecko for me."
Yeah, like, the dog actually seems useful in combat as well compared to the one in Fable, which one? Well, lackluster, I
It
guess.
should be, dude. It's a fucking dog. It's like in Elder Scrolls Online, you can have a panther, but it doesn't do anything. It just sits there and watches you fight. Look, you're a fucking panther, dude. Come on, get involved.
Maul something! Maul something!
Yeah, but no,
I
the
hope,
dog
you get,
was
I
cool.
hope you get the dog from like the get-go instead of like
think it
finding
did-
a
It did seem
companion.
like that. Yeah, it looked
It's
like that.
definitely seen that way. Definitely did seem that way.
It better
I
not
mean-
be the
I
only
mean,
companion you can have as well. I like the super mutant from Fallout 3.
Oh man,
Oh.
the
Oh, I
super-
love that. What was his name? What was his name? Oh, Fox. I loved him. He was awesome.
I can't remember his name.
I was
But
sad
yeah.
when he left. I was sad when we like parted ways.
Was he too evil?
Oh, goodbye then.
So actually, yeah, when we're on the topic of companions, do you think we're going to get more human companions in Fallout 4, or do you think it's just going to be that dog?
I think
No,
we'll
I
get
think
human
it's gonna
companion.
be,
Yeah, I hope so, yeah.
Other
And I hope
humans
you-
seems like a natural conclusion.
Yeah.
I
hope we
it's
get
hard to
more
say,
kind
I
of-
thought.
Yeah, I hope we get more robotic companions.
Really?
Yeah, because...
As long as it's not like
the.
the sex robot from New Vegas. Jesus Christ, I don't want to worry about my... I don't want to worry about having to protect my anus and that too.
But, in Fallout 3, there was a quest where you dealt with an android. And the android's
Yeah,
actually
in
made
the
by...
Commonwealth.
in the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
Which is actually based in Boston, where the game is set.
Yeah.
So, I assume we're going to come across androids in the game. And potentially they get an android companion.
Can I have Android 18?
Yeah, I'll take that. Oh, you
Out of the
better
Terminator.
What?
I mean,
Out of the Terminator.
You know, just because I said that, don't anybody send the link of this video to my girlfriend, just because I made that comment.
And then it's in.
Awesome.
I hope it's tie-ins to the other games, like little references like.
Well, I mean, the
android
timelines
that-
seem to be
the android that
fairly
escaped
close.
from the Commonwealth, where he ended up at Rivet City.
Yeah.
I hope there's like you see him in it.
I mean,
and
it'd be
stuff
pretty
like
cool if
that.
there was a quest where you kind of helped him escape, which
Yeah,
would then
yeah.
lead into Fallout 3. That'd be pretty cool.
I just love Fallout, man. I love the how it's set up. I love the goals. I love the people you meet in the Fallout games. I thought Vegas was actually better than 3. I know it's controversial, but
See, I
know.
actually kind of have to agree with
You're
that. I
treading on
loved
bigger
Fallout New
ground.
Vegas.
yeah, I thought
Same.
Vegas was
I felt
more
like
fun.
I felt like Vegas just had more choice to it.
No,
Yeah,
The thing that did
Mr.
my head in
House and all
about
that.
Vegas was the factions in Las Vegas themselves. They did my head in when you walked into the casinos and they tried to take your weapons from you. That really got on my nerves for some reason.
Well, you're like some lunatic from Wastelands walking into like a building with about 4,000 pounds worth of fucking weapons.
I walked in
you.
over encumbered. I walked in over encumbered.
It's like they're not going to
kill everyone.
Oh fuck God.
Here's a question I want to know, actually.
Everyone.
Okay, we know that there's many ways to go about completing Fallout. One of the ways you can actually go about it is to pretty much just talk your way through the whole game. If you have your speech up high enough, you can just talk your way through pretty much every situation.
Yeah, I always do. I always put my speech up.
My question is,
speech and luck.
Is the game is Fallout 4 gonna be as like heavy on speech, like where if you have your speech maxed you can just breeze through it? Because, and this is a potential spoiler for anyone that hasn't played Fallout New Vegas, when you if you side with the NCR and you come up against Legate Lanius, who's one of Kaiser's, in fact he's Kaiser's right hand man, you can talk your way through that entire encounter if you have 100 speech, and you basically just talk the Kaiser's Legion into just leaving the dam with the NCR. And while that's, you know, kind of useful, I think it kind of takes away from it, because I think realistically I don't think Kaiser's Legion would give up that easily just because some guy was like, oh hey, you know, I don't think it's a good idea. I mean, we have a load of guys here. I mean, I know you slaughtered an entire town with a group of like 4 men, and you had everyone crucified, and you've taken many slaves, and you have pretty much the entire of the Mojave wasteland in fear. But you know, you couldn't take this dam that's in ruins, and the NCR squads that I've had to personally train because they were so dumb. There's no way you could take them. I mean, really?
I mean, you raise a good point. It's good giving people choice, but you know, and multiple ways to tackle a scenario. But sometimes talking just won't be the right thing to do, or going in guns blazing won't be the right option.
Maybe it's because I'm a gun-toting American, but if you get in my way, I'll kill you.
Well, even as a non-gun using Irishman, I still like to blow the head off things in Fallout. There's nothing funner.
I don't think it will be it'll allow you to talk your way through it. You know, with the option of like the talking system being like free flowing and interactive.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't
think you'll get that choice of just talking your way through it. You're gonna have to.
No, I mean, typically games don't allow you to do that anyway. The typical games don't really let you.
In all seriousness, though, it's one of those things where if they allow you to talk your way through it, you're stunting some of the gameplay. So I don't know if that's exactly something you necessarily would want to do.
But you know, the game warrants multiple playthroughs with different play styles.
I mean, I don't mind doing it.
Yeah.
You know, if you've just got a silver tongue and you just you can just chat shit a lot like Lee does.
Silver tongue.
Yeah, I mean
if it was done something like in Skyrim, when you have to bring the Nords and the Imperials together for that treaty, that's sort of more realistic. You know, you can sort of imagine 2 warring factions coming together to bring a temporary peace to fight, you know, greater evil.
Yeah.
That made sense. But like I said, that example with Lanius, it's just like that doesn't make sense. Like he wouldn't.
You just have like a little.
Well, hold on.
Pistol.
Are we an alpha male with a fedora here?
Of course.
We're taking out all the betas.
Oh my god.
Top of the morning, ma'am.
It's painful.
But you know what? I mean, what if you are role playing a set and like you're really shit in combat and you can't take many hits and talking is your only strong point?
I don't think
then you don't get power armor. Then you don't get power armor. You don't get a dog. You don't get anything. Go home. You're playing the wrong game.
But you get to stay safe.
If you were a role player like that, you know, you can't. I mean, it makes more sense than being a sweaty guy talking down a Legion in power armor. You look like a fucking brute.
Oh, the power armor in Fallout 4. Did anyone see on the trailer how you get into it now?
Mate,
That-
did you see the jetpack? Did you see the jetpack?
I love
I don't think
the fact
anyone
that-
missed the jetpack.
Yeah.
The jetpack.
I mean, I love the fact that the armor's layered and that you have your own customized power armor.
Yeah. See,
I hope
again,
it's-
with the your own customized power armor, it still leads me to think like multiplayer, like playability. You know what I mean? But as soon as you've said like it's going to be one only, it's still like bordering on like all these multiplayer options.
Why does customization
I mean,
have to be
it's
multiplayer?
tantalizing, and it is something that I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope with the power armor, it's not something you can
Go
just
ahead,
kind
I
of...
didn't mean to.
Yeah, not
put
something
away
you
up
just
in your
get.
arms.
That's something I was thinking because
Like,
I
it looks
remember
like
in
it's
like
something you
Fallout
get early
3, yeah, in like Fallout 3 specifically, getting that power armor, like it was like the cover feature. It took most of the game and a lot of work and a lot of killing, a lot of talking. To work your way into being able to earn and then use that power armor. It felt like such a triumph and it felt so worth it. I'm wondering if are they gonna like dull that feeling down? Is it gonna feel like, oh yeah, I got the power armor, okay,
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen, it's like you go into a town, it's under attack, but then you can just... Yeah, I hope it's not something you can just unequip though and put it in like your backpack and then pull it out whenever. You know, I want it, like, if you're in it, it's like, you're in it, you have to carry this with you now. You know, it's like, if you want to take it back, someone will have to come in and pick it up for you then or something.
Actually, when you mentioned about coming and picking up, there was something I picked up in the trailer that I thought was quite interesting. Was that the tilt copter, when the main character threw the smoke signal and in come the tilt copter to get into.
Yeah.
I wondered, because that looks like something the Brotherhood uses. I wondered, did that have anything to do with the power armor, or was that like a separate allegiance? That's something that quite interested me.
Yeah, I mean the Brotherhood.
I think you're part of the Brotherhood.
I mean the Brotherhood have the kind of same goal, but they work in different factions, kind of separate from one another. So
Yeah.
it's completely within the possibility that you will come across them, or you most likely will.
Nah, you'll definitely come across them, man. They'll definitely. It's not a Fallout without them, really, at this point.
And I assume they'll. Assume they'll look like you walking around in like one of their suits, either.
There was in it in the trailer when you were all running up towards.
I mean, I tell you what, the customization options are insane. I mean, just the sheer amount of armor types and guns and stuff, and the fact it gives you a visual representation of your adjustments as well.
I mean, there are 700 modifications for weapons.
It's ridiculous.
Like featuring over 50 base weapons as well.
I mean, literally, you change anything, and it changes the appearance of the gun. You know, everything you change has a visual, you know, correspondence with it. So if you change shoulder piece, the part you change will change in front of you in real time. You're not having to see a lot of games. What they do is they have you choose the adjustment. Then when you've put it on, you have to then equip the gun, and then you see the difference. But on this, it's all in real time as you're doing it. The gun is just in front of you. You click what you want to change, and you see it, boom, pop on the gun, or then pop off again, and you replace it with something else. So, I will waste hours in that.
Yeah.
Just dicking about, seeing how many teddy bears I can fit into my gun. You know,
Teddy bear sniper.
Teddy bear guns rock.
I mean, to be honest,
Teddy
when
bear
I first get the game, I'll be
First strike, teddy bear.
at least, and then another 3 hours making a home for myself.
I mean, the thing is, all your weapons are going to feel very unique to you as well. Like, you're going to be playing it thinking no one else is using this gun, because to be honest with you, they're probably not. So many combinations you could use that chances are no one else is probably using your setup. At least your arsenal will be different.
Yeah, you'll be able to make modified guns that actually really fit your playstyle.
Yeah, and it's so fun sharing that with people, like going, look at this gun I made, look, you're uploading gameplay of your unique armory that you carry around with you in your backpack. You know,
it would be good to be able to like share your weapons and armor with your friends, so they.
I mean, that would be really cool. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't mean like multiplayer as such, but just being able to like.
I feel like with the
having,
power
like, an app on your phone, or where you can just
maybe have like a mail
serve
system like they do on Elder Scrolls Online, where you just send things to players, they open the mail and they've got the new items there. Something like that could be really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, we've only had one gameplay video, and there's just so much in it.
A gameplay video, which was phenomenal. May we add?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
Right.
It was just. It just exceeded. It was really clever actually, because it showed you everything they had to show you, and more. So, I mean, the base building was a complete shock to everybody. It showed you the gunplay, which far exceeded what I thought it was going to look like.
They really did go, you know, beyond what they needed to deliver.
If anyone says otherwise, the only people at this point who don't like Fallout are people who haven't played it, or that's pretty much it's like MGS. I think people who say they don't like it are just too intimidated to try it. You know, most people who play it like it because they're genuinely good games. It's like Fallout. To say you don't like Fallout 3 means you're still thinking it was COD, and you realise that you turned it off, or you just don't really know what it's about. You know, but it looks unbelievable. The game of the year this year. Oh my god, this is not the year to be bringing out a new game. I mean, there's so much stuff out this year now.
I think Call of Duty will win it.
Yeah, well, fucking. Can you imagine?
No. No.
As much as I like Witcher, I don't think Witcher has a chance in winning Game of the Year. It's just luckily...
It's between Metal Gear and Fallout.
Yeah, it's...
Right.
That's pretty much what it's going to be between.
My Game of the Year... My Game of the Year is either Witcher or I'm sorry, Fallout or Metal Gear. Witcher was very good, but Fallout and Metal Gear, like, one of those two is coming out on top.
Yeah, I mean, Witcher's good, but Fallout and Metal Gear are on just a different level.
Yeah, I mean, we are now getting to the point in this generation where we're starting to get decent games. Witcher was the start of that from a development point of view, but...
how long have the next-gen consoles been out?
Since November 2013.
2 years.
Okay, so what it's taken us about 2 years to really get to next gen games? Yeah, about 6. Yeah, about 18 to 2 years. But you know, like Andy Kojima said, you can't build a good game in a few years. You know, in 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah, see, that's just down to the game developers having to learn the new technology, having to develop their own ways around it, and how to make the most of it with what they have.
I like the stance Bethesda have made, where all the games are all next gen only as well. Like even Dishonored 2, they've gone no next gen only, and I love the fact they're bringing out a remastered version of the first one too. Because to be fair, Dishonored was probably the best. Well, it was the best first-person action stealth game of the last generation. The gameplay was phenomenal.
Right, and it didn't get a lot of it didn't get a lot of praise.
It didn't.
It just came out, and like it was like it did good, but it did really well critically, but it didn't get a whole lot of praise from gamers.
It was an incredible game. It probably lacked a little bit in the story, and it wasn't quite as immersive. But from a gameplay point of view, it was tough, man. It was legit. It was a lot of fun experimenting with different ways to accomplish tasks. And for a last gen game as well. I mean, I'll be picking up the remaster anyway, and I'll definitely be getting the second one.
I like the style of what it was done.
Yeah, it was very unique sort of setting, and it was all very retro. It was all very retro futuristic as well. It was
it had a bit of a nice steampunk vibe to it as well.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
All right, guys. Final words anyone has to say?
Alright, basically, if you don't like Fallout, then you're a noob. You're wrong. Your opinion isn't right.
Can I just say though, that Pip-Boy edition though, holy shit!
Must have.
I have sat all day.
in my
I have
life.
sat all day on the game website waiting for that to appear. When it finally appeared, their servers exploded and no one could pre-order it.
I have game open in a separate tab now, but I've been refreshing it every 10 minutes, just waiting.
I finally got it pre-ordered at about 8 o'clock this evening.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be.
It will be something else. It truly will be a next-gen experience.
Yeah, I'm gonna be buying that shit.
100%.
Okay, so we'll wrap this up. Thanks to everyone for listening. Hope you all enjoy Fallout as much as we know we're going to. And yeah, we'll catch you all next time. Next video, I think the next video is gonna be Metal Gear Solid, I believe.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid and Doom. Yeah, don't worry, we'll discuss Doom.
Alright, well, thank you everyone for listening, and hope you enjoyed. Welcome to the Cypher Gaming Network.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Take care.
Bye.